Hey guys, today we are going to be featuring the new monochromatic shadow trio that I bought from Glossier in the color Mist. I only bought the refill in this because, as per my previous upload, you guys know I already own Jet with, Jet is it? No, it's Jute in the vessel, so I bought it with the actual eyeshadow. I'll show you now how it pops out and pops up back in. But let's just look at this beautiful neutral lilac-y quad. You guys know I am all about the lilac. So this is the original vessel. You can just purchase the whole thing, and then on the side it has like these ridges that I don't know if the camera is gonna pick up, but basically you just pop it out and then you can pop the new shadow right in, and it's fairly easy, secure, doesn't really fall out. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm gonna start off with the Glossier Stretch Foundation in the color Light 2, and I'm gonna apply that with my 101 brush from BK Beauty. I went ahead and I prepped my face with my Merit Glow Serum because I have been filming so much today, like comparison swatches with the Merit blushes, the new shades that just launched. My skin needs help. I'm definitely feeling it. Next up, I'm gonna apply some Merit bronzer in the color Clay. This is basically goof proof. This is very easy to blend. It is honestly one of the easiest products to use. Next, I'm gonna go in with the Glossier blush in Wisp. I hauled this earlier last year at some point, and I've been super excited to use this. I really like the formula. It's very pigmented, and it's like the perfect lilac-y shade. On me, it dries down to like a very natural finish. And let me just look at how beautiful that color is. It reminds me of the Tower 28 blush. I can't remember the name. I think it's Party Hour or something like that. I'll put the name if that's incorrect. And I'm using my BK Beauty 112. I'm just gonna lightly dip into it. Fairly pigmented, so I would work with just a little bit at a time. Very long lasting, just absolutely stunning, but you do need to work a little bit at a time is my best suggestion. As you can see, that blended out like a dream. Now I'm gonna slightly set my face with the Wonder Powder shade G8 through G10 is mine, and I'm gonna use the little brush I hauled from Glossier. It's like a little lilac powder brush. I didn't even know they carried this. I'm unaware if this is a new product or not, but it's beautiful. It has a little Glossier logo on the bottom. The bristles have this great lilac ombre situation. I don't know if it's any good. I'll let you guys know as I wash it, use it, wash it, use it. That's how I usually test my brushes and figure out whether they're worth it or not. As you can see, that did not disturb my foundation. Next, we're gonna be using my recently hauled BK Beauty brushes in the hooded set for hooded eyes. Before applying anything else, my lips needed some hydration, so I went ahead and I applied the Lavender Balm.com shade. And this is in the formula nobody likes. This is not their original formula, and so I have been testing it out, comparing it to the original. Again, my thoughts coming in on those. Next, I'm gonna be using the BK Beauty 203 brush, and I'm I'm going to go into this bottom shade down here in the trio, and I'm gonna apply that all over the lid. Went ahead and I applied that all over the lid. Don't worry, I'm gonna get like really directly in front of a window where I have more direct light as soon as I'm done with this whole look. But today's weather has been up and down, cloudy, gloomy, sunny, all the things. So as you can see, the light changing, but how stunning is that shade? Next up, I want to go in with the 202 brush that comes in this set, and I want to go into the only matte shade in this trio, and it's absolutely stunning. I'm going to do a comparison swatch of in a shorts of this shade against the Chanel lavender shade, because I need to find it. I may have misplaced it. Those of you who don't know, we haven't been in this house very long. We moved a year ago, but we've been remodeling and doing the floors and all that jazz. So things have been moved around quite a bit. And my office, beauty room, filming area has been like the dumping ground for lots of things. And needless to say, a lot of things have been moved around. So I need a little bit of time to find that shade, but I will definitely do a comparison swatch of these two shades for you guys. So there is that matte shade in the crease. I love this. It's a neutral lilac. I'm here for it. I'm now going to use the BK Beauty 207 brush to apply this very sparkly shade right here, which is considered the topper shade. I'm going to try it with the brush, and then I'm going to try it with the finger just so that you guys know the impact of color. The BK Beauty brushes work really well if you just want like a subtle bit of that pop of that topper shade right in the center. However, much like Jute, I find that this trio, all the shades are perfect for one and done. I think it's small enough where you would get use out of it, but yet big enough where it'll last you some time. We need more makeup companies to do trios like this. I think we're all in that era where we want smaller eyeshadow palettes. Can we all agree? Okay, so this is what that topper shade looks like right in the center with a brush. And now let me show you what it looks like using a finger. You get a lot more impact. So here is that finger swatch of that color. And it's much deeper on my finger than it looks like in the pan, but boom, look at that. Look at that impact. So with using it with a finger, using it with a brush, you definitely get a lighter application. Let's go ahead and look at this directly in front of a window. So here I am standing in front of a very large window where the sun just seems to be hitting, but you can see how beautiful that is. With using that topper shade with a finger, using it with a brush, you get to choose the impact you want, but I find this whole trio to be like that perfect lilac-y shade. Let's apply some mascara. So I applied some of my Merit mascara and my Merit brow gel in the color light brown to my brows. I did use the BK Beauty 204 brush that comes in the set. It's like this really tiny smudger brush, and I ran a little bit of that matte shade on the lower lash line, just on the outside, ever so subtle. Let's apply some of the Glossier You fragrance just because the sake of this video. Honestly, this is all coming off after I'm done filming. I do it for the tube. I do it for the tube. Now let's get in front of natural light. So again, I'm wearing on my lips that beautiful lavender Glossier Balm.com. A little bit goes a long way. I find this one to be fairly pigmented, but this is what the shadow looks like. Again, I remember I used a finger to apply the topper shade on this eye and a brush to do it on this eye. I love a good neutral lavender shade, but most of all, I love that the way that Glossier does their trios, I find that each particular shade is perfect for one and done. So in that way, it becomes even more versatile, even though you only have 3 shades. Here we have a finger swatches. We have the matte shade, the bottom shade that I applied directly onto the lid. This was the first color I applied, and then that topper shade. Let's go ahead and swatch these. So what I find to be interesting with the swatches, while I was doing them off camera, is that they don't swatch. The matte shade doesn't swatch very well. However, it applies wonderfully to the lid, which is why you can't always rely and judge an eyeshadow palette by the way it swatches on your skin. You judge it by the way it applies and blends on the eyelid. Here we have the matte shade up here. As you can see, you can barely see it. I had a hard time swatching this on my skin, but it appeared very nice on the eye. This is that shade that the bottom, all the way at the bottom of the quad. I applied this directly onto the lid. It was the first shade I used, and here is that topper shade. As you can see, it has a lot of glitter and shimmer, a lot of light reflecting particles. Let's look at this in direct sunlight. So here we have those swatches in direct sunlight, and look, there's even like a little rainbow reflecting in through the window. I'm also gonna step outside because I like for you guys to see direct sunlight indoors and direct sunlight outdoors. So I have stepped outside, and this is what it looks like outside in direct sunlight. Editing Isabel over here. I just realized I forgot to talk about the BK Beauty brushes I used. Honestly, it's the first impressions of that set. I literally just hauled it. But much like the other brushes from BK Beauty, they are very, very soft. Again, I will be doing a follow-up review on those brushes. I usually do a follow-up review on all of my brushes. So right now, I am getting ready to do like a review on my on my Sonia G brushes. Because I've had those for quite some time, and I've washed them, reused them, and I've had them long enough to be able to give you my overall thoughts on them. All right, you guys, let's get back to the video. I think the look pairs really well with this Balm.com shade. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it was informative. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Follow me on Instagram. It's the only other social media platform I am currently active on. And if you have any questions, go ahead and leave them in the comments down below, and I will try my best to answer them. I think I found my perfect lilac palette. If you really like the new Natasha Denona Roxa palette that just launched, but you're like, that palette is just too big for me, I'll never use all those colors, I think the Glossier Mist Trio is gonna be perfect for you. Thank you so much for watching, and see you next time. Bye.